Joining me now from Washington, D.C., Executive Director of the Crime Prevention Research Center and author of the new book, Stalked and Defenseless, How Gun Control Helped My Stalker Murder My Husband in Front of Me, Nikki Gozer. Nikki, red flag laws. Let us count the ways that they violate the Bill of Rights. They violate the First Amendment because they muzzle people necessarily. They violate, obviously, the Second Amendment, violate the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and the Sixth Amendment. Congratulations to the state of Virginia, the state of California, and all these other blue states out there. You're violating exactly one half of the Bill of Rights. This is why I would imagine you oppose, like I do, these red flag laws.
Absolutely, Graham. I absolutely oppose red flag laws.
Your story is truly a heartbreaker because it's based, in your book, but your story itself, it's based on a real life occurrence. It happened 10 years ago in 2009. Your husband was gunned down in a gun-free zone in Tennessee. Tell me what happened.
My husband, Benjamin, was murdered right in front of me by a man who was stalking me. And this happened in a restaurant that was a gun-free zone. I followed the law. I had my handgun carry permit at the time, and I carried a gun for self-defense, but I followed that law. And I left my gun locked in my vehicle that night. Of course, the man who was stalking me did not have a permit to carry a gun. He brought a gun in illegally into a gun-free zone and shot my husband 7 times in front of myself and in front of everyone in the middle of a busy restaurant. I will probably wonder for the rest of my life if I could have prevented that. Of course, I'll never know because I was denied a chance. I was stalked and defenseless.
But maybe he knew, maybe the bad guy knows. And just like the bad guys know that many schools are gun-free. By federal law, schools are gun-free zones, which turn them into shooting galleries. Gun-free zones kill. You've written a book called Stalked and Defenseless, and this chronicles what happened to you on that tragic night back in 2009. What is the message, beyond the obvious, the tragedy of what occurred in Tennessee on that day? What is the message that you want to have emanate from that book?
I do not support red flag laws. Let me use myself as an example here to show you how this could turn very wrong for law-abiding people and victims of violent crime. Can we both agree that a normal human reaction to something this horrendous would be depression? Your spouse is murdered right in front of you by someone who is stalking you. Of course you're going to be depressed. That's normal. There were days where I thought, how am I going to go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow to face another nightmare day? This was forced on me by an evil person. I'm never going to get to see my husband again. And quite frankly, if the good Lord wants to take me in my sleep tonight, I am perfectly fine with that because this is horrible. Now, was I suicidal? No. Was it really, really difficult? Absolutely. Now, you can understand where someone who may be very well-meaning, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, could misinterpret that and say, I'm concerned about her. Go to a judge. The judge, all they have in front of them is a piece of paper with an accusation or a concern saying, Nikki's been through this horrible situation. We know she's depressed and we know she owns guns. Can you imagine the type of trauma that would put me in? That's trauma on top of trauma. I'm already concerned for my safety. A stalker has murdered my husband in front of me, and now you're going to take away my basic human right of self-defense with no due process?
But they should also take away your car and baseball bats you on, other methods that you could harm yourself with. So this rises to the point of the red flag laws. They're completely unconstitutional. Hopefully one day they will be rendered that way. What do you hope to achieve now? What is your mission now? Is it for common sense gun laws? And I don't even know if that's an oxymoron or not. Is it to promote the Second Amendment, promote the right to keep and bear arms? What?
Absolutely. The right to keep and bear arms. Look, there are so many women out there who are stalked. The CDC has stated that 1 in 6 women are stalked in their lifetime. That's millions and millions of women who should not be made defenseless. These women should have the basic human right of self-defense. They should be able to protect themselves.
It is a fundamental right, and the framers of our Constitution believed it's a God-given right, and there are a lot of us who still believe both. Nikki, thank you for your story, and good luck.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.